Mary Finero, everybody. Woo!
Wow. Hi, everybody. I'm Mary Finero. I'm the founder of OmniPeace Foundation. Wow. This is an incredible room tonight, and it's an incredible evening for many reasons. One is because we're launching a groundbreaking initiative for the first time in 17 years, which is Global Music Box. It's basically a music school in a box that will reshape the landscape of global music education in support of mental health and well-being for children all over the world. Which means that while we were really an organization that was working in Africa, now we go global. We can put those little music boxes that are on your table that will be much bigger when they go to the schools, but in any school, in any country, on any continent in the world. So I just want to tell you a little bit about how this all got started. 17 years ago, I launched a t-shirt company to raise money to build schools in Africa. Now, what I didn't know is that it would become the first socially conscious brand in retail, meaning it was a t-shirt that had a mission to raise money to build schools in Africa. I didn't know that we would raise millions of dollars, that we would build 7 schools in Senegal, Mali, Malawi, that every celebrity imaginable would be wearing the t-shirt, and that we would educate over 50,000 children. So to be honest, I really thought that, I was doing pretty well and that was going to be my life's purpose. And then I went to Rwanda and my whole life changed. I went gorilla trekking and I was at the top of the Virunga Mountains, this close to the gorillas, and I had a transformation that was a profoundly spiritual experience, and it changed my life forever. Anyway, I get back in the car with my cab driver, who's now my friend, and he looks at me and says, I want you to build a music school here. And I was like, kind of thrown off. And he proceeded to say he was a keyboard player in his church. He wanted his son to learn how to play, and there were no music schools in Rwanda. Now, what he didn't know about me was that I have absolutely no musical talent whatsoever. Like, completely untalented, singing in the shower is as far as it gets. I politely declined, and I said, no. Now, when you say no and the universe has different plans for you, all of a sudden you get tapped on the shoulder and the direction you were moving in starts to shift without you kind of even knowing. And all of a sudden, that thing that you just said no to is happening. And 1,000 doors open up that make it so easy to walk through. First person I met when I came back was Harold Owen. Somebody introduced me to him. Harold literally got Gibson, Foundation, Roland, DW drums, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of instruments donated to us like that. A week before I was leaving to launch the school, really having no idea how I was going to do it, all I knew is that I had to go get those instruments out of customs. I was sitting next to a woman at a luncheon who was from Rwanda. I've lived in LA half my life. I've never met anybody from Rwanda other than that moment. She says to me, I'll help you with that music school. My best friend is there in Rwanda right now. He's about to become head of music composition at Berklee College of Music. He will help you open your music school. Like, when does that happen? I called him up and I was like, will you help me build this music school? So he agreed. I flew to Rwanda. I met him. He found the kids and the teachers in this space. By the way, this tiny little space with 12 kids, and it was amazing. I mean, I saw something that I had never seen before. I saw kids that had never seen, touched, or played an instrument in their whole lives pick up an instrument for the very first time. But here's the best part about it. They excused themselves before they touched those instruments because at that point, they didn't know how to connect to music any other way than to dance. So they had to go outside and dance. By the way, and they went outside and they danced like they were celebrating the Great Migration as Maasai warriors. And they came back in and they picked up those instruments, and it was like we handed them a lifeline. I mean, they had this newfound joy and purpose and passion. And if they came in distracted or distraught or hungry, they forgot all about that life outside. It was like we handed them a defibrillator and we resuscitated them back to a life that they didn't even know that they had. But this life had hope. I knew there was something bigger than just that music school going on. 8 years later, the government finally recognizes our work. I'm sure from me knocking on the doors They're like, get this woman, like, let's work with her so she stops. So they said, okay, we want to work with you. We want you to train the first generation of Rwandan music teachers. By the way, guys, last year I was up on the stage saying that was our initiative. We did it. Like, here's what I will say. I've never been on this stage and said what we were raising money for tonight and didn't do it. So I'm a girl that gets it done. Anyway, we went back. I flew the guy from Berkeley back 8 years later who couldn't have been more excited to now train teachers. I flew my team back. We brought in all the instruments. We curated this beautiful 2-week workshop for the teachers. And it was amazing. The teachers were like kids, right? They like were absorbing music like water in a sponge. They already had all this talent in them lying dormant. All we had to do was put an instrument in their hand. It unleashed it all. At the end of 2 weeks' time, we were celebrating everything we had just accomplished. And there's this lull in the room. And the teachers look at me and they're like, well, now what are we going to do? And I said, what do you mean? You're going to go back? You're going to start the music programs? And they said, no, we're not. We don't have any instruments. We don't have any music books. And we don't have a curriculum. Who's going to keep teaching us? So now I want you all to open up those boxes on the table. So what you need to start a music program in a school, in any school, are 3 things. You need instruments, you need music books, and you need an online teacher training platform that will train new teachers or old teachers, ongoing training for music. So, guys, we are doing tonight, launching our global initiative, Global Music Box, to reshape the landscape of global music education for children all over the world. Now, here's what's really in that tiny little box. It's 40 music curriculums, 20 keyboard books, 20 guitar books, 20 guitars, 20 keyboards, and an online teacher training platform that will train all of the teachers. So now that's obviously a much bigger box, but that is all you need to put a music school in any country, on any continent. And that's what we are here to do tonight. Every dime that we raise tonight will go towards this. And like I said last year, like, I don't get up here and say what we're going to do and not do it. It's going to happen. Our goal is to bring it home in our own backyard and have 3 global music boxes in LA by the end of the year at 3 LAUSD schools. That's what we're raising money for tonight. Every one of you matters. All of your support matters. Without you, it doesn't happen. I believe the last 17 years of our work has led me to exactly this evening, exactly this initiative, and to really what we're going to be doing probably for as long as I can. 17 years ago, when I launched that T-shirt company, we decided to put a poem in the back of the T-shirt, inside the back of the T-shirt. It was a poem by Margaret Mead. And actually, David Beckham used to wear the T-shirt inside out because he liked it so much that he wanted people to read the poem when they were standing in the back of him. Anyway, it said, never underestimate the power of a small group of thoughtful and committed citizens coming together to change the world. It's the only thing that ever has. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to change the fucking world. Thank you. Thank you.